the advice by contributing on the subject matter without judging. Adult Conversations on Women Radio runs from Monday through 6 to 8 p.m. because we are here to break the culture of silence. So if you have a story that you want us to bring to the family of Adult Conversations, please make sure to send in your story. Send in your story to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. That's where to send your story to with your name and contact number so that you will be contacted and we can have a proper conversation with you as regards what's going on with you and we can get the full information. Thank you very much for tuning in once again and tonight on Adult Conversations. My name is Jeremiah, 34 and a businessman. My twin is Jedediah, also 34 and a successful photographer. We are very close, and like a lot of twins, we vowed when we were younger to get married on the same day. However, I started my business of drinks distribution in university. So as at graduation, I already could boast of about 1.5 million naira in my account, which I shared with my brother. The thing is that it's been about 4 years since my brother gained success as a photographer, and he's still doing casual relationships. He's still doing casual relationships and he's still sleeping around because, according to him, he has not found love. I have a girlfriend of 2.5 years who I want to marry soon, but my twin brother keeps bringing up a vow to each other. We've been through a lot together and I don't want to betray him, but I am ready to settle down. What do I do? This is an interesting story tonight. This one is coming in from Jeremiah, who is 34. He's a businessman. His twin brother, Jedediah, is also 34, but he is a successful photographer. Now, according to Jeremiah, he's saying that when they were both younger, they made a vow to each other, like a lot of twins, telling themselves that they would get married on the same day. I'm wondering why they didn't even say to a set of twins as well, because sometimes that's how the vow is made. Anyway, these ones only vowed to get married on the same day. But the thing is, Jeremiah started a business of drinks distribution when he was in university. So about the time of graduation, he already had about 1.5 million naira that he could boast of that was his own, which according to him, he shared with his brother. Now, his brother has been a successful photographer now for almost 4 years. And his brother has money. His brother is doing well now, but he's still doing casual relationships and he's still sleeping around. And now, according to Jedediah, he's saying that this is because he has not found love. Jeremiah, on the other hand, is saying, I have a girlfriend of 2.5 years who I want to marry soon, but my brother keeps bringing up our vow to each other. You know, that one they made when they were younger. So Jeremiah says, we have been through a lot together, and I don't want to betray him, but I'm ready to settle down. What do I do? The number to call tonight is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. That's the number to call in tonight. You can also send in a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. And you'll be attended to, of course, we'll read out your message. Anywhere you are in the world and you are listening, you can listen via the website. And you would like to listen, rather, you can listen via the website www.wfm917.com. www.wfm917.com. Now, when you call, please turn down the volume of your radio. Turn it down so that we can hear from you. Turn it down, please, so that we can hear you very well. Now, when you call, please also make sure that you really get to the point and you really say what you need to say so that we can go to the next person. If you want to join the Adult Conversation group chat, you can do that. Sure that you really get to the point and you really say what you need to say so that we can go to the next person. If you want to join the Adult Conversation group chat, you can do that. Send your name and WhatsApp number. Send your name and WhatsApp number on WhatsApp to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537, and you'll be added on to the group. Thank you very much. That's how to do it. So please make sure to send it in that way. It makes everything a whole lot easier when we go with that method. Thank you very much. So at this point, we would like to hear from you. I'll be taking some of the messages on the group, and then of course the phone lines are already open and you can call in. So let me take this one. This one is coming in from Christian from Agric. Christian is saying, your twin brother needs to man up and stop sleeping around. You need to also call him and sit him down and talk some sense into him. Then if he fails to do the right thing, you have no choice than to move on because you've tried. I guess he's still catching fun on cruise and he's really enjoying it. You have tried for so long, he shouldn't keep wasting his life with yours. That's coming from Christian from Agric. I'm hoping it's the same Christian I know. And if it is, thank you very much. I anticipate you calling in as well. And if that's it, say my best regards to your wife. You know who I'm talking about. All right, the phone lines are open. What are your thoughts tonight? What do you think that he should do on this one? You know how twins, not even twin brothers or twin sisters, twins in general are so close and they do literally everything together. I've never met a set of twins that are, separate and doing things, they may be different, but they always like to hang out together. They always like to have their own time together. And this is practically what Jeremiah is talking about when he made that vow with his younger brother, or with his twin brother, let me put it that way, with his twin brother when they were younger. Now, again, sometimes those vows, you might think, oh, we made it a long time ago when we didn't know better. Now we do. But Jeremiah is saying that Jedediah keeps bringing the vow up. Now, he has a girlfriend. Jeremiah has a girlfriend of 2.5 that he wants to get married, of 2.5 years that he wants to get married to. And according to the story, he says that I want to marry soon. But my twin brother keeps bringing up the vow that we will get married on the same day. We've been through a lot together. That's what Jeremiah is saying. So he acknowledges that they've been through a lot. But at this point, he's saying, what am I supposed to do? He is still catching fun. He's catching cruise. He's sleeping around, casual relationships up and down. And at this point, I want to settle down. What do I do? What's the advice? 07000 917 917 is the number to call. 07000 917 7. Remember, you can also send in a text message or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Remember to turn down the volume of your radio when you call in. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? Hello? All right, please call me back. 917 917 is the number to call. What do you think about this particular one? Now, bringing this one it looks a certain way because you're bound to ask yourself, but these two men are grown-ups. They're not children anymore. These two men are grown-ups. They are 34 years old. I mean, hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Please, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Dominic. I'm calling from Optic.
Your name again?
Dominic. I'm calling from Optic.
Oh, okay. I still didn't get your name, but please go ahead.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What's your name, please?
It's Dominic. My name is Dominic.
Dominic from OPIC. Okay. All right, Dominic. Thank you for calling. What do you think Jeremiah should do about the situation?
I think, for my own opinion, I think we should go on with his brother and talk to him, ask him how because according to the story, he said they made a vow which they were young, and they don't want. Hello?
I'm with you. And they don't want. All right, call me back if you can. I believe Dominic was saying something about the vow that they made when they were younger. And maybe he's trying to say that Jeremiah may not want to break that vow. But apparently that's what he doesn't want to do. Or at least that's what he's confused about doing. He's wondering, should I not? Given the fact that my brother doesn't seem to be anywhere near ready to get married. It doesn't look like he's ready. He's still doing casual relationships and he's still cruising around. He's still sleeping around. And at this point, Jeremiah doesn't appreciate that because he has a girlfriend of 2.5 years that he wants to marry. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Is it Dominic again?
Yes, I'm recording that.
Okay, okay, please go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hello?
I can hear you. Please go ahead. I can hear you. Hello. All right. At this point, I'm guessing that Dominic is the one with the network issues. So if you can, Dominic, please call back. Now, what are your thoughts? If you're a twin out there and you're listening to this right now, I would so much want to hear from you. I want to hear what your thoughts on this are. Imagine you, I'm sure you and your twin have maybe not the same exact vow, but something close, because twins usually have that private thing going on between them. So, what is it about this particular vow that is holding Jeremiah from actually getting married without his brother Jedediah? Does the vow of 20 something years ago, or even 30 something years ago, because we don't know how old they were, but he said when they were younger, does that vow still hold water today? I mean, this is way, way, way longer than that time ago. I mean, that was a really long time ago. Does that vow really matter today? A girlfriend of 2.5 years. I mean, I can only imagine what she's thinking. And at this point, it would even be much worse if Jeremiah has actually proposed to the girlfriend. It would be really bad if he has actually proposed to her. Jeremiah, please, if you're listening, talk to us about that. Have you proposed to her? Are you fiance and fiance at this point? Or are you engaged, or are you still in a relationship? The reason I'm asking this question is if they're already engaged and they've been engaged for about a year now, then that's a really big problem, because now they're turning girlfriend only girlfriend to Lord of the Rings, and that's not very good. That's not good at all, because now the girlfriend will start to feel self-conscious and she's wondering, do you even want to marry me, or is this really about your brother? Or let's turn it the other way, is this really about your brother, or you don't even want to marry me anymore? It gets to a certain point, everyone starts to look at it as, oh, is this really about that? And then I'm a bit worried, because if Jeremiah and Jedediah's parents are already talking about, grandchildren, and you know how parents can be. You know how parents can be sometimes, and they're already talking about, when will I get my grandchild? What are you people doing and you're still single? Imagine wondering, how do you even explain that to your parents, that, oh, me and my brother, we had a vow when we were younger that we'll get married on the same day, and he's not ready, so maybe I should hold on. I mean, how would that sound? So I'm going to ask this question just out of curiosity. Are you already engaged to your girlfriend, Jeremiah? Are you already engaged to her? And do your parents know about this vow? Let me put it that way. Are you already engaged to your girlfriend? And do your parents know about this vow? That's how I'm going to put it. So if you can, please go ahead and respond so that we can get more clarity on the story and we can figure out how best to give you advice. 07000 is the number to call. And of course, remember that you can also send in a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. What are your thoughts tonight? What are your thoughts tonight? This is Jeremiah's story, and he's basically talking about the fact that he's 34, he's a businessman, his twin is Jedediah, who is also 34 and a successful photographer. Everything in their relationship is fine because they're twin brothers, they're close, and they have a good relationship. But the thing is, when they were younger, they made this vow to get married on the same day, as typical twins do. They made this vow to get married on the same day. But Jeremiah started making money early from university because of his drinks distribution business. And he could actually boast of 1.5 million naira from that business when he was graduating university. And according to him, he shared, some of that money with his brother, Jedediah. Now, his brother has started making money about 4 years ago, and he's been a successful photographer for about 4 years now. but he's still doing casual relationships. He's still doing he's still sleeping around. Jeremiah, on the other hand, has a girlfriend that he has had for 2.5 years, 2 going on 3 years, literally. And he wants to marry her soon. He wants to marry her very soon. It's taken a while because his brother, Jedediah, keeps bringing up the vow that they had to get married on the same day. Now, this is a major reason why Jeremiah hasn't gotten married to this his girlfriend, because his brother keeps bringing it up, and he's making it look like, we made a vow. This was supposed to be both of us on the same day. So I'm trying to take my time because I've not found love. That's the excuse he's given for, sleeping around and all of that. That's the excuse he's given. And at this point, what is Jeremiah supposed to do? Another really good question I'd like to ask is if Jedediah, that's Jeremiah's twin, has actually been in a long-term relationship before. Has he been in a long-term relationship before, or he's just been literally cruising all his life? The reason for this question, don't worry, I will let you know, is if he has been in a long-term relationship before and something went wrong, then that might be the reason why he has taken 6 steps backwards. Now he has trust issues. Now he has commitment issues. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know where to begin. He doesn't know how to be vulnerable with someone again after whatever happened. But that's if it happened. So Jeremiah, if you're listening, number one, I asked you, are you engaged to your girlfriend of 2.5 years already? And if you are, how long ago were you engaged? Do your parents know about this? Do your parents know about the vow, and are they already asking for grandchildren? And finally, do you know if Jedediah had a long-term relationship? Hello, good evening. Good evening. What's your name, please? Where are you calling from? All right, Dominic. This time, let's wrap it up. Okay, you were about to tell me something.
My own opinion, I think the other, is your desire.
Yes.
We just want to let the attack your desire.
Yes.
We just want to let the attack brother, because I would like, you cannot just do something where it doesn't need to do it. So my advice to the other one is that you should just call the other brother.
Okay.
With him and ask him, because this is a family issue.
Mm-hmm.
So you will ask him. So I don't know, this person is a very critical one. A very, very critical one. So, but what you do is just to call the other brother and talk to him and ask him his intention. Because they made a vow of which they did not even ask God of it. Because as they are requesting God that they want to, the vow has been made, God should assist them so that at the end of the day they will achieve their goal. They did not even do that. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hello, are you there? All right, thank you very much, Dominic. So Dominic is saying that Jedediah and Jeremiah should sit down and talk about this. Jedediah is the one with the bigger problem here because he's the one sleeping around. So Dominic is saying Jeremiah should sit Jedediah down and have him really hear him out. What is it that is keeping us from getting married? Or what's it that's keeping you actually from getting married? So they should discuss it and really figure out what's going on and where one can help the other. More like where Jeremiah can help Jedediah, if we're being honest. And then Dominic is also saying they didn't make that vow with the consent of God or with the backing of God. I'm trying to paraphrase here. So maybe he's saying that they should have done that, and maybe God would have assisted with the entire process. But I believe that time and chance, everything plays out at the same time. Nothing happens without the approval of God, or nothing happens without the knowledge. Let me put it that way. Nothing happens without the knowledge of God. So at this point, well, that's what Dominic is saying. But what do you think about it? What do you think about the story? What do you think about the way that they made, or not even the way they made the vow, the fact that they made the vow, and the fact that Jedediah is still holding on to this vow after God knows how long, donkey years, literally. All right. What are your thoughts about that? I'm going to read this message coming in from Fred. And Fred is saying, good evening. Let Jeremiah sit and discuss this issue with his twin brother. I'm sure that if his twin brother values their commitment and this vow, and of course their relationship, he'll also make plans to settle down. That's an interesting one. So everyone is talking about sitting down and having this conversation. That's a very important point of view. That's a very important point of view. However, we forget that somewhere in this message, Jeremiah said, and I'm going to quote it as I read it. He said, the thing is that it's been about 4 years since my brother gained success as a photographer, and he's still doing casual relationships and sleeping around because, according to him, he has not found love. I don't know what that says to you, but that tells me that they've had that conversation. They've had that conversation before. And the simple reason that Jedediah seems to be giving Jeremiah at this point is that I've not found love. I've not found it. Now, you, my guy, you may have found it, but me, I've not found it. And until I find it, me and you are stuck here because we made a vow. That is the basic summary of what Jedediah is doing to Jeremiah right now. Now, I must mention, because this part is really important, he has a girlfriend. Jeremiah has a girlfriend of 2.5 years that he wants to marry. I can only imagine for the life of me what's going on in that girlfriend's head. She'll probably be looking at Jedediah and be wondering, you this one, you this one, you this one. You shall not make her marry your brother. I go marry her. I go marry her because now here my heart today. But waiting they do you this year, yeah, brother. Now me they talk on this one. I know me say now they think that. But if now you be the girl, waiting yourself with the think. I mean, except, bear with me, except if his girlfriend doesn't know why the relationship is taking so long. Maybe she doesn't know why. Now, if she doesn't know, he's still not proposing or he's still not married yet, then maybe she doesn't know about the vow. That's the simple thing. If she doesn't know about the vow, then she's in the dark and she can't contribute to what she doesn't know. But honestly, what Jedediah is doing seems to be a bit unfair. It seems to be a bit unfair. And I think we all can agree with that. But the question here that Jeremiah is asking, what should I do about it? What should I do about it? He's done it. He keeps bringing it up, and at this point, it's getting old. But I would read this. I would read this first because this is an incoming message from Jeremiah answering some of the earlier questions. Jeremiah is saying that yes, he has proposed to his girlfriend, but he did this 3 months ago. So the proposal hasn't been that long. It's been about 3 months, according to him. We're in November. So take that to October, September, August. So somewhere in August, they had this proposal. He proposed to her, will you marry me? I love you. And, yada, yada, yada. And she said yes. She said yes. And that sealed that. So it's already 3 months down the line. And if you know what wedding planning timing is like, you already know that if you're not married 6 months after your engagement, people start to look at you and they're wondering, what's taking so long? 6 months, 6 months to 8 months maximum. Anything to a year, and then you get tongue swagging. People are talking about it. Again, I don't know who set up all these timelines, but if somebody has decided to say, will you marry me? Then to a large extent, not only do they want you as a part of their life, they're already making plans to have you as a part of their life. So what next to do after the to have you as a part of their life? So what next to do after the proposal is to get married already. 3 months ago. It'll be 6 months in February, November, August, November, August. What's it again? August, September, October, November, December, January. So it will be 6 months in January. Now, technically, world people, and I say this very carefully because it's just what it is. World people would have been wondering, it's already 6 months, so they're helping you count. That's the thing. And it's so annoying. People are poking into your business and you don't like it, but there's not much you can do about it because, society is society. So they're usually counting for you. And some of even your friends are asking, but you proposed to this girl 6 months ago. Now, just think about this in January and they're having this conversation. And then Jedediah, on the other hand, keeps looking like, oh, what's happening? I'm not the one holding anybody. I'm waiting to find love. And in as much as finding love is important, because no one wants their twin brother to end up in a loveless relationship or in a loveless marriage. So it's not that he's not seeing someone. It's not that he's not seeing a someone or someone's. It's just there's no steady person in his life that he can even say, or he's willing to take the next step with. So Jeremiah, I'm looking forward to the remaining answers. Do your parents know about this vow and what have they said about it? And then what was the other one? Do you know about any long-term relationship that your brother had that maybe didn't work out? And if you know about that, then maybe you can tell us what happened. Interesting story tonight. This is Adult Conversations on Women Radio 91.7. Keep your calls and messages coming in. We'll most definitely still take them. Keep your calls and messages coming in. Very important. 07000 917 917 is the number to call. You can always send in a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. This is still Adult Conversations on Women Radio 91.7.
Denise is all. Women Radio 91.7.
Have you been a victim of corruption? Do you want to report how corruption affects you and your community? Send an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537.
My children are surprises. Adane buys my favorite 3 crowns milk regularly. And as for Chinedu, that one makes it rain with monthly upkeep. They even plan to take me to Dubai someday soon, so I can see Burj Khalifa and other fine places.
Win your mom a trip to Dubai. Buy 3 Crowns Milk products worth 2,000 naira. Write a note to say thank you to your mom. Post it on www.3crowns.com.ng and she could be one of the lucky winners to Dubai. Terms and conditions apply. 3 Crowns Milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
My people are hello. Look, festival of joy promo. From you. They don't let president yet. And now you back away. New house. 24 you cars. 100 generator. 200 sewing machine. 1,000 returnable fan. And thousands upon thousands of price them day. Just dial *641# to enter and win inside the Club Festival of Joy Pro. Buy up to 20,000 naira data. Your lucky shine to win brand new house. If you cost you recharge or loan data when cost from 500 naira, go reach 10,000 naira every month, week or every day. New Altaraka plus other fabulous price and feel like your hand here. Make you dial *641# now to enter and win. Terms and conditions zero.
Unlimited.
2023 general election don't come more. Time don't come to move Nigeria forward with our votes. Make we join hands together and vote for better candidates. Candidates wey no dey use women play. Candidates wey carry woman matter for head. Women o, make una get una permanent voters card, PVC. Make we vote better.
My Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation and Women Radio 91.7 bring una this message.
For Women Radio 91.7, we value una. We dey always find way wey we go take near una. Why make we bring Women Radio membership come out? We go connect you with other women wey dey in 36 states for Nigeria. You be market woman, person wey get your own hustle, person wey dey go school, person
Person wey don work retire, person wey dey look pikin dem for house. Abi you be farmer? We no say make you bring money o. Just go register for WFM917.com. You fit still join Women Radio membership group for Facebook. Oya, near me, make I tell you wetin you like. As person wey follow this group, na im be member. We go help you sell your market for Women Radio. And every month you go dey chop better prices dem. Download our mobile app, make you dey hear us anywhere where you dey. Women Radio membership dey connect you to other women dem. The big question. In fact, is increasing more us anywhere where you dey. Women Radio membership dey connect you to other women dem. The big question. In fact, is increasing more never had a snake and whether python and swallow it. Why? Everything has increased. Conversation, controversial and borderline disruptive. The big question.
Mondays to Fridays, 12:05 p.m.
On your Women Radio, WFM 91.7.
I feel that there's some sort of lack of professionalism in this because we're talking about 100 lives.
Government has also put in place a structure to make it look like what they have in mind.
How do we stop crime in the society? Because at the end of the day, if a man cannot provide for his wife anymore, he looks for other means. Because
we should arrest Nigerians. We should know it. This is Panorama.
Mondays to Fridays to 9:05 a.m.
And WFM 91.7 will bring you ladies from across Nigeria's political zones, dissecting, discussing, and disagreeing on topical issues of the day. You too can join the conversation by tweeting us at WFM917 with the hashtag Panorama. WFM 91.7, the voice of women.
Technology and fun. Get ready for Fun Tech, a great combination at She Talks Tech. Tuesdays, 2 p.m. on Women Radio, where we share tech gist, tips, and experiences on the biases women face in tech and learn about tech from women who do amazing work in the tech space. She Talks Tech, Tuesdays, 2 p.m. on Women Radio 91.7. Let's help you love tech as much as we do.
Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at WFM917.
18 minutes to 7 on Women Radio 91.7, and thank you for staying tuned in. This is still Adult Conversations on Women Radio 91.7, and here we discuss real life issues and matters relating to the heart. If you're just tuning in, you're welcome, and I will very quickly read the story as sent in. My name is Jeremiah, 34, and a businessman. My twin is Jedediah, also 34 and a successful photographer. We are very close, and like a lot of twins, we vowed when we were younger to get married on the same day. However, I started my business of drinks distribution in university. So as at graduation, I could already boast of about 1.5 million naira in my account, which I shared with my brother. The thing is that it's been about 4 years since my brother gained success as a photographer, and he's still doing casual relationships. He's still sleeping around because, according to him, he has not found love. I have a girlfriend of 2.5 years who I want to marry soon, but my twin brother keeps bringing up our vow to each other. We've been through a lot together, and I don't want to betray him, but I'm ready to settle down. What do I do? So initially in the course of the conversation, I asked Jeremiah, who sent the story in, if he has proposed to his girlfriend. That's what I mean to say. I asked him if he has proposed to his girlfriend, and he said yes, that he's done that. He did that 3 months ago. So again, it's still fairly recent. So she's not Lord of the Rings yet. And I'm saying that because that's what people call them. Let's not lie. Even you know it's at the talk. I sure say you don't hear that before. If they engage for like 1 year plus or like 8 months plus, you don't reach Lord of the Rings level. Anyway, so this is why I said that. Anyway, he's saying that they got engaged 3 months ago, so it's not been that long. But he wants to get married. He engaged her because he wants to get married. But his brother keeps bringing up this vow. He said they've been through a lot together, which is true. I mean, twins always, they always look out for each other. They go through a lot together, and they're always there for each other, as even regular siblings are. So at this point, he's saying, what do I do? My brother doesn't seem to get ready or doesn't seem to be ready to get married. Now, if you're talking about having the conversation, I need to clarify that. But according to the story, he says, because according to him, he has not found love. So I'm assuming that they've had that conversation before. But I'll add that to the questions I'm asking Jeremiah. So hopefully he gets those answers in sooner than later. Jeremiah, have you spoken about this with your brother before? And if you did, what did he say? Have you spoken about this with your brother? If you have, what did he say? What was the resolution? Was there any kind of resolution? How did the conversation go? I'm interested and I want to know because that would also give you the idea on how to give advice to Jeremiah. All right. If you want to watch live, we are live on YouTube and on Facebook as well. At WFM917 is our handle across all social media platforms. We're live on YouTube and Facebook, so you can watch, you can share the link, and you can talk about this as many times. And if you comment on the live video, I will most definitely still read it. So go ahead, go watch it, have some fun, share it with someone next to you, and let's come to a decision, or at least let's come to give Jeremiah some really good advice tonight. All right, so Fred is adding, if they have discussed, as Jeremiah said, and the vow didn't involve blood, let him go and marry once his parents approve or support him. Him getting married may also go and marry once his parents approve or support him. Him getting married may also make his twin brother have a second thought and think about settling down. That's an interesting point. That's a very valid one. So maybe if he settles down, his brother would realize that he wasn't going to be there waiting for him all the while, waiting for him to decide when they will both get married. So maybe he should do this. Well, Fred is saying maybe he should do this as long as the vow didn't involve blood, because then that popular school of thought that blood covenants are stronger and they shouldn't be broken by either person. Anyway, that's a conversation for another day. But if the vow didn't involve blood, according to Fred, he's like, okay, you can go ahead and do your thing. Maybe even if you do, it will give him the inspiration to also do the same, to have a change of heart and really settle down in love. Okay, incoming message from Jeremiah. And Jeremiah is saying, yes, his parents know about this. Their parents know about it because every time they are asked, is that Jedediah always gives. So their parents are tired of coming in between them and trying to settle it, but they desperately want grandchildren. Okay. I don't know where this is going, but honestly, we're already on a journey. That much I can tell you. So if I'm getting this correctly, the parents already want grandchildren. They desperately want grandchildren, and they know about the vow because every time they talk to their children about what's taking so long, why would I never marry? Jedediah is going to say he can get married until I get married because we made a vow to each other. I honestly don't know how their parents feel about that because, okay, here in the story, it says they're tired of getting themselves involved in it, but they desperately want grandchildren. Okay. Hello, good evening. Grandma. Thank you for calling, Grandma. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm due. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
How are She did a good job.
Absolutely.
I really.
Absolutely. I have to even say thank you very much for that. So, yes, Grandma, what are your thoughts tonight on this story?
I salute every other conversation member, family, and everyone in the studio with a gapata. Especially a darling.
Grandma, you safe, eh?
It doesn't matter. Every day, very eager to have grandchildren.
The parents want to have grandchildren, yes.
If they were, they would have broken this covenant or whatever. Their vow. As a mother, I would have broken it. God will confess. See, I don't know if it's blood or whatever, by the way they break it. You have to break the hand of God. You have to break this thing. I tell you, when you see dragging, not allowing the twin brother to get married, and you see gallivanting about, no, this thing must stop right now. It must stop. The mother, the parents, who call them brother, especially Jedediah. Not because Jedediah for Bible too. So, he should allow spiritual whatever to take over his life and follow the Jedediah in the Bible.
All right.
Because Jedediah in the Bible was bad. They won't name him Jedediah. So, if you wake up, grow up, and stop this whatever. Let me not use the language I use when I was complaining to myself. Because the things they are not native. So if the parents are very eager, their hands-on, their whatever, they could call both of them together and ask them what sort of vow did they take, and then they should break it immediately. Immediately, they carry Bible and go somewhere, and then the blood of Jesus will remove every damn vow they are taking. And let Jeremiah get married.
All right.
Maybe this one we encourage him because it's like that Jedediah is also.
Grandma, you know we don't judge. You know we don't judge.
It should stop this whatever is doing and be serious.
All right.
Be serious at 34.
Okay. Thank you. No problem. No problem. Thank you, Grandma. Thank you so much. So Grandma is saying if his parents, and by his parents, and of course that means their parents because they're twins. So Grandma is saying if their parents are really desperate for grandchildren and they know that Jeremiah has a girlfriend that he wants to get married soon to, they should call Jeremiah and Jedediah together and have them talk about this entire thing and break that vow. Break the vow completely and let Jeremiah be able to move on with his life. And Grandma is also saying, and this is following what Fred said earlier, that maybe if he goes ahead to get married, then Jedediah can be more inspired to follow the same direction, in the line of love, marriage. I'm still waiting on the question of, was he ever in a long-term relationship? Because let's be fair, if Jedediah has been hurt before, you know how they say, you've been served breakfast, don't cast, last. Now everybody go to our breakfast. So maybe Jedediah don't chop breakfast. Maybe like twice safe. If it not be one time, if it be like twice. So the guy heart don't hard. So say this one, we did this mountain. This one, we go break hearts where before we finally say, okay, we know to do it again. So maybe that's what has happened. But if he has been in a long-term relationship, or even more than one long-term relationship, and he has gotten hurt once or even more than once, then it stands to reason why he would be so hesitant to give his heart to another person. Because the guy don't want your breakfast now. Not be person they serve breakfast, can't go marry 7 wives after. And I know what they're talking. I know yes now. Now person they serve breakfast, can't go marry 1 wife, 2, marry over 4 wives in 2 weeks. So wait till we talk. If they happen. People they fear breakfast. Breakfast is not a good feeling. Breakfast not be your mates. So maybe this is what has happened. And if this is it, then we need to know. so that we can give advice in this direction as well. If you're just tuning in, this is Adult Conversations on Women Radio 91.7, and I want to hear from you. What do you think about the story? Have you heard anything like this before? Have you experienced something like this before? Call in, share your story, and give advice to Jeremiah and Jedediah. Jeremiah is the one who needs the advice more because we already know what Jedediah is doing. And what Jedediah is doing is hurting Jeremiah. It's hurting him and it's hurting his relationship as well. So we need to know if this has happened to him. If you don't chop your fast like twice or like one time, at least may we know. So that if person give advice, we'll know it's in the talk. So what do you think? 07000 917 917 is the number to call. 07000 917 917. I'm going to go on Facebook. This one is coming from Kamsi Adachuku. Kamsi is saying, one mother, but two different gods in terms of destiny. So she's saying normally twins want to do these things together. Just like the case in my family, the first boy twin is way faster than the second twin. Delay, my dear, can be dangerous. Have a get together and talk things out. Let him see your own perspective. I believe he either sits up or lets you go if you're okay with it. And that's coming from Kamsi Adachuku. I believe the line of thought here is Kamsi is saying, sit down and talk to him. It's either he sits up or he lets you go. It's either he sits up and gets a relationship where he can marry anytime soon, or he lets you do what you have to do. You know, honestly, those are the only two options at this point. Those are the two major options at this point. But I'm wondering also why Jedediah would so badly want to hold on to a vow that they probably had when they were really young. You know, I'm inclined to ask if this was a blood vow, if this was a blood covenant, but that really shouldn't even matter. It shouldn't even matter because it's between brothers. They don't necessarily have to, shed blood again before they break it. So they can really just decide that, okay, between you and I, because we both made this vow, we can both decide to break it, as long as both of them are on board with it. So, Jeremiah, if you're okay, the message from Jeremiah, finally. Okay, so Jeremiah said, yes, he was in a 3-year relationship and she passed away. He was in a 3-year relationship and she passed away. So she didn't actually serve him breakfast. She died. She didn't serve him breakfast. She died. So maybe he's still grieving. Jeremiah, if you can tell us when you said 3 years, is this 3 years? This 3 years, has it been a while, or is this literally about 3 years ago? So maybe you can tell us that. Okay, so he goes on to say, yes, he was in a relationship for 3 years and his girlfriend passed away. And since then, he's been gallivanting into casual relationships and sleeping around. And I'm still pleading with him to find a new love because he's willing to love, but he's saying he hasn't found love. So this puts a new twist on it. I didn't see this coming. I mean, I've been singing "You Don't Cuss" last. Now, apparently, this breakfast is not the typical type that would have expected. Nobody did him dirty. Nobody broke up with him. Nobody broke his trust. Nobody did any of that. She just passed away. And this is actually very heartbreaking. If you've been in a relationship with someone for a really long time, and you actually were gonna be with that person, we're going to decide to be with that person forever, and then they pass away, it changes you. It changes you on a lot of levels. So, okay, Jeremiah is confirming that, yes, it was 3 years ago. It was 3 years ago, and since she died, he's been... Oh, okay. I need to get this right. Please, I didn't get this right. Jeremiah, are you saying she died 3 years ago? Or you're saying, just clarify, please. I need to be sure of what that is. Did she die recently? So their relationship was up to 3 years ago. They started the relationship 3 years ago, but she died recently. Let's be clear. All right. So if you can send that in, I will appreciate that. But we do know that he was in a relationship for 3 years and his girlfriend passed away. So maybe he's still grieving. But even if he's still grieving, should this be reason enough to practically hold his brother to ransom And let's not forget, they are 34 years old. 34, 3, 4. So this is literally that point where parents are wondering, what's going to happen? Where are our grandchildren be? I can only imagine what his mother is thinking right now. You know, Jedediah, even Jeremiah, what their mother is thinking right now, because she's probably wondering, I don't want to put my mouth for your matter, but we need to get this moving. We need to get this moving. Okay, further message from Jeremiah, and he's saying they were in a relationship for 3 years, but she died last year. So she died last year. Yes, she died early last year. That's what he's saying in the message. She died early last year. So chances are that he's actually still grieving. Maybe he's still grieving. This is really a sad scenario. I wasn't expecting this whatsoever. I really, truly wasn't expecting this. And now I don't even know how to react. Grief actually makes you a different person. It does. So he might need to grieve properly. He might need to grieve properly rather than sleeping around from one person to another just to get rid of that grief. But what do you think? I mean, have they spoken about this grief? Have they talked about this? And you know, has he sought some kind of healing for this? Is some kind of healing process? What does he need to do to heal from this so at least he can be open to love again? Hello, good evening.
Again, come to
Grandma.
I'm sorry to hear about the loss of his girlfriend. But if he really loved that girl and still money, then it's not supposed that is money don't go about.
Grandma, let me correct. Let me say something concerning that. Honestly speaking, Grandma, you cannot teach somebody how to grieve. There's no way that they wrote it down that if you are grieving, don't don't do this, don't do that. Everybody grieves differently. So maybe that's what's causing this.
If you really love that girl that you love, you will not be going about. By now, maybe he needs counseling or what.
Okay.
He should, and the mother should have, right. That's why we say you should move closer to God. Accept Jesus Christ into your life. And then the only way the comforter would have comforted him all these years, or the last year. So, if he really is in Christ, he will not be going about my dear.
All right. So, what's your suggestion, Grandma? What are you advising him to do now?
I'm advising Jeremiah to tell Jedediah to move closer to Christ.
Okay.
And pray and be comforted by the Holy Spirit. And then the girl that has gone to rest will even be happy that he has found love and is moving on with his life.
Okay.
She has gone to rest from the wahala of this world. You know. So she too should find peace. In this storm, he should find peace.
All right, Grandma.
Let Christ give him that peace that he needs.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's actually a very interesting one. Grandma is basically saying at this point that he cannot keep using the grief from his girlfriend's loss as an excuse. He can't keep using that grief as a crutch at this point. So Grandma is suggesting move closer to God and let God actually comfort you truly. If you're a Christian, then you know that the Holy Spirit is a true comforter. I've been there, believe me, I've been there. And you need him. You need him at this point. So maybe this would largely sort out the situation, and then you can really grieve properly and you can be truly comforted so that you can open your heart back again to love. Thank you very much, Grandma. Keep your calls coming in. 07000 917 917. 07000 917 is the number to call. You can also send in text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. If you're online, you can go on YouTube, you can go on Facebook. We are streaming live, so you can go on YouTube and on Facebook at WFM 917 to watch as the program goes on. Now, again, 07000 917 is the number to call. Send a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. All right, this one is coming in from Ceci Otegbayo from Agor Palaswe, Okota, Lagos. Now, Ceci says that you guys came into the world together does not mean you should tread the same path. The vow will always drag you back if you choose not to let each other walk their path. Ceci, please be careful with your words. He might not eventually get married because he might be looking for a lady that's similar to his late ex. Please walk your path and let him grieve as long as he wants to. All right. Hello, good evening. Hello. All right, call back if you can. Now, this message from Ceci is basically saying you were born together doesn't mean that you should follow the same path in your actual life. You're already on two different paths. You are focused getting married. He's also focused in his career, but not in the aspect of marriage and relationships. And this is largely because he lost the love of his life last year after a 3-year relationship. So that's painful. But Ceci is saying you can go ahead and walk your path, do your own thing, and let him grieve for as long as he wants so that he can truly get the healing that he seeks. Now, believe me, loss is not easy. But I want to hear from you. What do you think? Do you think that Jeremiah should accommodate this vow any longer? Do you think he should accommodate this vow any longer? Or do you think he should look Jedediah in the eye and say, look, this doesn't make much sense for both of us anymore. So I think we should end this. And even if he says no, he says, I'm ending this once and for all, so that they can actually move on. What are your thoughts tonight? +7 on Adult Conversations on Women Radio WFM 91.7. I want to take more calls and I want to hear from you on this particular story tonight. What do you think about it? For the benefit of those who are just tuning in, I'll read the story tonight. What do you think about it? For the benefit of those who are just tuning in, I'll read the story with all the extra information. Jedediah 34, Jeremiah 34, because they're both twin brothers, they're both talking about the fact that, okay, let me rephrase that from the beginning. Jeremiah sent the story in today. Now he's saying he and his twin brother are 34 years old, and they're both doing well at this point in their lives. They're both doing well. Jeremiah is a successful businessman, and his brother Jedediah is a successful photographer. Now, both of them are doing well. The only issue here is that they made a vow when they were younger, like a lot of twins do. They made a vow when they were younger to get married on the same day. To get married on the same day. Now, this is God knows how many years fast forward. Jeremiah is ready to get married. As a matter of fact, he proposed 3 months ago to his girlfriend of 2.5 years. So you can tell that he is actually very interested in getting married. However, his brother, Jedediah, lost his girlfriend last year, his girlfriend of 3 years. Lost his girlfriend of 3 years last year. And since then, he's been all over the place, casual relationships, sleeping around, and is not looking anywhere for love. According to him, he's saying he has not found love. Now, looking at it from the lens of grief, you'll understand why he hasn't found love, being that he's all over the place trying to mask his grief. Now, Jeremiah, on the other hand, wants to get married, but his brother keeps bringing up the vow that remember that we made this vow to each other. So you have to wait so that we can do this together as the vow stated. 34 years old. They're both 34. Now, in case you're wondering, don't their parents know about this? Yes, their parents know about it. But their parents are getting tired of talking about it, of getting involved and trying to get to a solution, because at the end of the day, Jedediah kicks against it and there's no solution. So their parents know about it and they're desperate for grandchildren. But they're tired of getting in between Jeremiah and Jedediah on this same vow matter. So that's that. Yes, I've said it. Jeremiah is engaged. He's been engaged for 3 months to his girlfriend, love of his life. And they've been together for 2.5 years before this proposal. So you definitely know, for sure that she's looking to get married. She's not looking to waste time anymore. But Jeremiah is now asking if he keeps bringing this vow up and he doesn't want to get married because he's still grieving or because he's still sleeping around, what do I do? Do I honor the vow or do I break it? Hello, good evening. Mr. Darlington, good evening. It's great to hear from you.
How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you very much.
You just disappeared without taking a seat from us.
Mr. Darlington, I know you enjoyed it when Esther and Blessing were here. I know because I listened. So I know you had fun. So Mr. Darlington, don't now come and be covering it like you did not enjoy it.
Okay, you're talking on our discussion as it's no problem. It's okay. So how are you?
I'm all right. Thank you very much. How are you doing?
I'm okay. You're welcome, man.
Thank you so much. What do you think tonight, Mr. Darlington?
So true. You see, people, I don't know why people impose some unnecessary burden on themselves. Because that's what these two young men have done. They impose their burden on themselves. This vow, is it from God or from man? The one that is ready to go ahead and get married, please. What if something worse than this thing happened to any of them or two of them? What happened? People should be thinking broadly now when they are taking decisions.
Mr. Darlington, they were very young. They were young when they made this vow.
That's the one reason why this thing should not count. It's useful and exuberant.
Well, apparently, it looks like somebody took it more seriously than the other person.
It doesn't matter. They took it and they made it themselves out of useful and exuberant. No adult will impose this type of burden on himself. Because you can see now that it's not working. That is why if they had grown up, they would have talked about this before they took that vow. But they did it out of useful exuberance now.
Okay.
And it did not count on school.
All right. So what's your advice, Mr. Darlington?
I say that the one that is ready to get married should go ahead and get married. When the other one was drinking and womanizing, he will get married at his own time. They didn't they did so. But they are not of the same destiny.
Absolutely.
That one is settled. Yeah, so there are lots of different destiny. So that you realize that I'm not wasting each other's time.
All right.
The other one should go ahead and get married. The parents should encourage him. Instead of what is vow. What if something will happen now? If one of them is not there today, will the other one follow him?
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Darlington.
It is a vow that has no meaning to you. It is out of you to the ground.
All right.
It's not from God. It's not from God at all.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Darlington. Thank you for calling. And thank you for, constantly being here and for just, always contributing. I must say this before I go on. Esther and Blessing did an amazing job in my absence. And I'm privileged to have colleagues like that who can take over and still deliver an amazing job all the time. So I'm back now, but I must say thank you very much to the two beautiful ladies who stood for me in my absence. So I'm sure if you enjoyed the show with them, I'm so sorry. They're going to be gone for a bit, but you have me back. And that's probably a good thing. I'm hoping that that's a good thing. So coming back to Mr. Darlington's point of view, that is definitely something that is worth thinking about. So this happened when they were really young. I asked this question earlier. Should the vow that they held or that they made when they were really, really young, should it still hold any reasoning, any water today? Does it still matter? But Mr. Darlington is saying he doesn't think it matters, and the parents should encourage Jeremiah to get married. Simple. Hello, good evening.
Hello,
Good evening. What's your name, please? Your name again?
Yeah, my name is Elijah.
Elijah from Surulere. It's been a really long time I heard you on this program.
Oh, yeah, really.
Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Well, I don't really want to say about
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I said I don't really have to say about I think the one that is ready to get married, and it seems scared to me because I think there is more something attached to it of the child that is out together, which
are you saying that Jeremiah is not saying?
No, I think since one is ready, and the other one is covered, and so I think since that one is ready, it is not really it is still scared, I think it can, I don't know, the kind of big Christian or something. Just, and I'm grateful that I can break the power because, Indra sometimes you. And he is very, very aware of the consequence
of the vow. All right. Thank you very much, Elijah. Thank you for calling. So I believe what Elijah is trying to say is that he's scared of the consequences of the vow. Now, maybe Jeremiah is not telling us everything about what they vowed would happen if anyone breaks the vow. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I'm hoping that you do. You know how sometimes you say, if I do this or if we don't do this, this would happen. So maybe there's a consequence attached to the vow that he's scared of. But I believe that if they made it mutually and they break it mutually, then there should be nothing to be scared about. What do you think? Hello, good evening. Hello? Hello, are you there? All right, call back if you can. Call back when you're ready, please. The number is 07000 917 917. Remember that you can also send a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Darlington?
Yes.
Okay, very quickly, please.
The last time I checked, the marriage institution was instituted by God. And the same God said, whoever finds a wife finds favor before the Lord. Is that not true?
That's true.
Is that not true?
That is true.
Good. So, I don't know what other vow affect a man who found a wife and God has blessed that marriage. I don't know what other vow, especially coming from men. If it is something that is between a man and a woman who said that if I don't marry you, this one will happen. Even that one says does not hold, but it's about your faith. The other man did not have his twin brother. He did not have he only got married now. What is the seriousness? I mean, what would something happen to him because he went to go and get married? Did he have the brother?
No.
Did he do anything to him?
Okay, Mr. Darlington, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. All right.
Nothing will happen, nothing.
All
I
right.
thought that there was no serious issue that coming from the other person. He didn't harm me, I didn't say anything wrong to him now. But if the marriage is the same thing, please, I don't want to live in the same house, because
Yes. So I understand you, Mr. Darlington. I understand you. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for that one. So Mr. Darlington is adding to what he said previously, that even if there are consequences, or even if there are supposed consequences, according to the brothers from the vow, he doesn't think that should carry any weight now, particularly because he's not harming his brother in the process. He's only getting married, which is technically always a good thing. So Mr. Darlington still thinks that he should go ahead. Hello, good evening. All right, very quickly, Elijah, please go ahead. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you so much, Elijah. Thank you for calling. Interesting. I must say that I didn't see this coming, this line of conversation coming. But Elijah is still basically saying if there's nothing to be scared about, break it and move on. But if there is something to be scared about, particularly because you never know with spiritual things, you never know how they did this vow, you don't really know anything, then they should seek a spiritual way, if they're Christians, whatever their faith is, to break the vow. Hello, good evening. Hello. Good evening. Thank you for calling. Who am I speaking with, please? Why? Even if I bring the bread, come. No, Young is you. So if I bring the bread, come. I don't want to give you the bread. You know, say that my question gets us to be me. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
And as you said, we had a very wonderful time when you asked them.
Absolutely. My ladies are always on point.
Honestly speaking, I must be sincere. Those ladies made it impossible for us to meet your absence so much.
And that's what's supposed to be. That's what's supposed to be.
They were amazing. They're amazing. You know, I love them. God bless them.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you for doing this job also. You know, I will tell somebody something I just thought one day that the concept of a successful leader is the process of the profession.
I hear you on that one.
The concept of a successful leader is the process of the profession. So if the professor can tell and the person can be the professor is a failure. Let's leave that as focus on today's topic.
Thank you. Don't worry, I know what you mean, so I'm grateful for you saying that.
You're welcome.
All right, please go ahead.
All right. So this, I've read a lot of arguments concerning this, you know, One thing, because of time, I've asked this young man to send a message. Whether there's any other sacrifice involved in this picture or just the next cooking word. It is just the next cooking word. Agreement is an agreement. When it comes to a vow, it becomes spiritual. That's another thing you should understand. Whether cooking word or any other thing behind it.
Okay.
It is spiritual. And because it is spiritual, God, has a casting on me. He said, "Yes, 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, in their midst I am." We also say that whatever 2 of you shall agree on earth, he said it remains binding. So, when they have spoken it, that's come by heaven. That's the truth. But now, in this situation now, if the other one is not coming up, if it's trying to turn negative from there, this other person has the right to revoke the vow.
Okay.
Yes, we can revoke it with the backing of the parents. Do you understand me?
Okay, with the backing of the parents now.
With the backing of the parents now, in this case now. Because I was teaching somewhere in the congregation center. I told them that this tradition we're talking about, tradition, whatever culture, is an agreement entered into by 2 or 3 or more people on behalf of others.
Okay.
That is just the definition of culture or tradition. It's an agreement. So it takes another set of people, 2 or more people, to disagree on that agreement on behalf of others also.
Okay, so this is why you're saying they need the backing of their parents.
Exactly.
All right. Wow.
This program is not coming up. This one should go to the parents and let them just because it is whatever you satisfy that agreement and then we move on.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Young. Thank you for sharing that very important piece of information. So it is critical to understand that sometimes when people say vow, they might not necessarily mean anything with spiritual backing. They might just mean a very deep promise. That I promise you that together we will do this together. Maybe that's what they mean. But at the same time, because we were not there when they took the vow, we cannot say that this is what it is or that this is what it's not. So based on this, I have to say this, put this disclaimer out there. So based on this, Young is currently saying that we don't know what happened when they took that vow. But whatever it is, if they're calling it a vow and it has some spiritual significance to it, then that means it basically was backed up by heaven as well. I'm not sure about all of that, but that's what Young is saying. Now he's saying if that should be broken, then they should get the support of their parents. That is a higher power, so to speak, for lack of a better explanation. Somebody else who can stand as a buffer, so to speak, in support of the breaking of the vow for good reasons, obviously. So I'm going to stop here because that could mean anything. But as I speak right now, the vow hasn't been broken. And that's because Jeremiah is asking if he should honor the vow or if he should break away from it. Now, looking at this entire situation, love is a beautiful thing. Nobody should have to ask permission to fall in love or to live with the person that you love. I personally find that really frustrating. You know how sometimes some people say, even if your parents say no, go ahead, that has its own set of debates, its own school of thought. But in this case, it's your brother that seems to be holding you back. This is a very tricky one. And because he said in the story that they've been through a lot together, this might be the reason why he doesn't want to just go ahead and just break it like that without the mutual agreement of his brother. So this might be what is holding Jeremiah back. But is it worth it? Is it really worth it? That's a true question. Is it really worth it? Go ahead and call me 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. That's the number to call. Also remember that you can send in a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. What do you think Jedediah should do? I mean, what do you think Jeremiah should do concerning the vow he made with his brother Jedediah? Let's not forget, just in case you're tuning in, there's some parts of this information that is very crucial. They are 34 years old. The twins are 34. They both are successful in careers. One of them, Jeremiah, is a businessman. Jedediah is a successful photographer. So they're making money and they're fine. Jeremiah is willing to get married. He's ready to get married. As a matter of fact, he's been engaged for 3 months to his girlfriend of 2.5 years. So he's willing and ready to get married. But his brother, Jedediah, actually very recently, last year, lost his girlfriend of 3 years. His girlfriend of 3 years passed away. And since then, it has been one girl after the other. So he's probably grieving. We don't know if he's still grieving, but the truth remains he's still in casual relationships and still sleeping around. Now, Jeremiah, on the other hand, wants to move on. But the problem is they made this vow when they were younger that they would get married on the same day. If you know anything about twins, you know that when they make vows like that, they choose to stick to it. But in this situation, Jedediah doesn't look ready to move on at all. And Jeremiah is. He wants to move on. So now his question is, should he honor the vow he made with his brother, or should he break it and move on? The reason is simple. He wants to get married. And as Mr. Darlington rightly said, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. It's always a good thing. Falling in love, marrying, it's always a good thing. It's always a good thing, unless sometimes you really look deep into it and you realize, oh, these people don't love each other, yada, yada, yada. But the point remains, whenever people hear of a wedding, it always rings good. Only good things come to your mind. And a wedding is a good thing. Let's not forget that the twins' parents want grandchildren. Oh, they want grandchildren, and they want grandchildren like now. But Jedediah can give them that because he doesn't want it just yet, or he's still grieving and he doesn't want that just yet. So if you were Jeremiah, the twin who is ready to move on, already engaged and ready to get married and start a life with the love of his life, what will you do? Will you betray the vow that you made to your twin brother when you were younger, or will you honor that vow? This is Adult Conversations on Women Radio 91.7.
WFM 91.7.
Radio never sounded so cool.
Mr. Johnson, I'm here for my money.
Baba landlord, I'm very sorry. My wife is very sick, and I have spent all the money I have.
I've been telling you to ensure the health of you and your family with a reliable HMO.
Reliable HMO? Which of them can I go for?
Ice Medicare HMO Limited. They are one of the accredited health maintenance organizations with thousands of quality and accredited healthcare providers nationwide on their network. They have corporate plan, retail plan, student plan, and even community-based health plan. Also, their premium is pocket friendly.
Located.
Their office is located at number 2 Osho Street, Okpebi Link Bridge, off Okpebi Road, Ikeja, Lagos. Their phone number is 080 93 555 863 or 08032639058. Their website is www.icemedicare.com. Ice Medicare, health protection in your colors.
My people, my hello! Now, better than was a carrying line on a romantic closer! Look, festival of God promo! From you. They don't wait for the president yet. And now you back a win. Brand new house. 24 you cars. 100 generator. 200 sewing machine. 1,000 returnable fan. And thousands upon thousands of that price and day. Just dial *611# to enter and win inside the Gold Festival of God Pro. Buy up to 20,000 naira data. Your lucky shine to win brand new house. If you cost to recharge or loan it away cost from 500 naira, go reach 10,000 naira every month, week, or every day. New Alcalaga plus other fabulous price and feel like your hand here. Make you dial *611# now to enter and win. Terms and conditions zero.
Unlimited.
Are you searching for durable, guaranteed, elegant, affordable home products? At Eleganza Industrial City Limited, we put you first. From plastic chairs for adults and babies, party tables and school tables, disposable plates and cups, as well as reusable plastics, food warmers and cooling boxes, trash bins of various sizes, baby diapers, lady sanitary care products, luggage of various sizes, hair threads, and lots more. Eleganza Industrial City Limited has got you covered with our elegantly designed products in unique shapes and sizes. Visit us at Kilometer 68 Lekki Efe Expressway after Eleko Junction, Ibeji Lekki, Lagos. Or you can call 081 801 99999 or 090 914 73665, or you can send us an email at eleganzaindustrialcity@yahoo.com or info@eleganzagroups.com or sales@eleganzagroups.com. You can visit our website www.eleganzagroups.com. Eleganza Industrial City Limited. The name is our guarantee. My children are surprises. Adane buys my favorite 3 crowns milk regularly. And as for Chinedu, that one makes it rain with monthly upkeep. They even plan to take me to Dubai someday soon, so I can see Burj Khalifa and other fine places.
Win your mom a trip to Dubai. Buy 3 Crowns Milk products worth 2,000 naira. Write a note to say thank you to your mom. Post it on www.3crowns.com.ng and she could be one of the lucky winners to Dubai. Terms and conditions apply. 3 Crowns Milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
2023 general election don't come more. Time don't come to move Nigeria forward with our votes. Make we join hands together and vote for better candidates. Candidates wey no dey use women play. Candidates wey carry woman matter for head. Women oh, make una get una permanent voters card, PVC. Make we vote better.
Now, Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation and Women Radio 91.7 bring una this message.
Radio Doctor on WFM 91.7 every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. brings you medical experts specialized in women's health.
If you're a 23 cycle person, just come forward on your day 14, you will ovulate.
Call in to get free consultation in women's health on 07000-917-917 and 090-256-25455. You can send in questions, cases, and related contributions on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at WFM917. Text and WhatsApp to 070-317-56537. You can listen live online on www.wfm917.com. Radio Doctor, Nigeria's stress-free consultation radio health program on WFM 91.7.
Give the left, alright, that's all. You think you know Nigeria's biggest tune? This baby is about to get in the ring on the Big King Show every weekday from 4 to 5 p.m. on WFM 91.2.
Our world is threatened by terrorism, wars, killings, and various vices.
Its effects are mostly felt by women and girls.
Peace and security is a collective responsibility as it concerns women, girls, and boys. Join WANET
on Women's Voices for Peace every Tuesday at 3 p.m.
on Women Radio WFM 91.7 as we engage on issues of women, peace.
Minutes to 8 on Women Radio 91.7. This is still Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart. If you're just tuning in, you're welcome. Thank you very much for staying tuned, and thank you very much for just tuning in if you're just tuning in. All right, my name is Somto Titilayo Achama, and tonight we have been profiling the story of Jeremiah. I'm going to very quickly run it through this story for the benefit of those who are just tuning in. All right, so this is a story of twin brothers. Jeremiah sent the story in. His twin brother is Jedediah. They're both 34. Jeremiah is a successful businessman. Jedediah is a successful photographer. They're both doing well financially in the different fields. So everything is fine with that aspect of their life. Now, the other aspects now, which at 34, you'll be wondering, and go on. Well, this point, we're talking about companionship, relationship, and all of that. Now, when they were younger, they made a vow to get married on the same day. They made a vow to get married on the same day. Now, fast forward all these years later, they're 34 today, or 34 as of today, and Jeremiah is saying, I'm engaged. I've been engaged for 3 months to my girlfriend of 2.5 years, and we want to get married very soon. Jedediah, on the other hand, lost his girlfriend of 3 years last year. Last year, I think Jeremiah said January. Last year, January. So it's been a rough time for Jedediah. And he's basically been sleeping around, been having casual relationships, no intention whatsoever to settle down anytime soon. But when he's asked, he always answers, he has not found love. So that's why he has not settled down. He has not found love, so he has not settled down. He has not found love, but when will he find love? But that's not even the issue. That's a secondary question. The primary question right now, Jeremiah is asking, should I honor this vow or should I break away from this vow? My brother and I have been through a lot, and I don't want to break his heart or betray him, but I want to settle down. And me, I want to settle down. I don't know what you they do, but me, I want to settle down. Now, this is not to say that Jedediah's grieving does not mean anything to Jeremiah. It does. But January last year is a bit of a while compared to November this year. So it's been a bit of a while. And it looks like nothing is changing. It looks like Jedediah is not opening his heart to a new relationship, and it doesn't look like there's any progress on that end. But every time they talk about it, Jedediah brings up the vow that they made when they were younger. So Jeremiah is inclined to stall on what he wants because it looks like Jedediah is not ready. And now he's asking, how long do I have to do this for? Do I have to honor the vow, or can I break away from it and move on? And that's what he's asking. What do you think about the question tonight? The number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. You can also send in a text message or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. Now, this might be a difficult situation, but it is definitely a question that needs answering. It's most definitely a question that needs answering. Should I honor the vow, or should I break completely away from it, knowing that it will break my brother's heart? What do you think? What do you think? I know you're listening. I wonder. Now, if you're about my age, then you know where exactly that song is coming from. You know precisely where that song is coming from. But if you're a lot younger, you may not know, or maybe you may know, I don't know. But what do you think should happen now? A school of thought would say that breaking the vow would further break Jedediah's heart, being that he's already in a bad place with the grief. But not breaking his heart will mean that Jeremiah is condemned to God knows when Jedediah will be ready. I'm not sure that's the best thing for any of them at this point. Another school of thought is saying, go ahead and break it. Maybe when you do, and you are in a happy marriage, it will inspire Jedediah to really open his heart to true love again and get married as well. Another school of thought is saying, I don't know why we're even talking about this. This is coming from people who made this vow when they were really young. Why should this vow even hold any water today? Why should it matter? And another school of thought is saying, if you break it, you need to break it with the support of your parents. That's the only way. If there are any spiritual consequences, the covering of your parents would speak for that. I'm guessing that's what that means. But what do you think? What do you think? We'll be wrapping up in a bit, so I want to hear from you. The number is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. Now we're talking about twins here. So if you're a twin or you know about the twin bond and you know how much it might mean or why exactly this is important to Jedediah, then please share. Jeremiah doesn't understand why it is so important to him. Maybe it's because it's working for him now. It's working for him because he is single. So he can bring up the vow anytime and say, but remember that we vowed because he's not willing to get married. I bet the vow probably didn't matter as at 2 years ago when he was in a healthy relationship with his girlfriend. So maybe the vow didn't matter because they were both in healthy relationships at the time. But now it's obvious that Jedediah is trying to buy some time. But how long? Remember that they are 34 years old. 34 years old, Jeremiah has been in a relationship for 2.5 years. And his girlfriend is probably thinking, thank you for proposing, but can we get married already? Like, can we quicken this whole thing? Let's just marry, sharp, sharp. So maybe that's what they're thinking. Well, his girlfriend's on the other side. The major people here are Jeremiah and Jedediah. What do you think about the story? Do you think he should honor the vow? Do you think he should break it with his brother's consent? Or do you think he should break it with or without his brother's consent? What are your thoughts on this one tonight? 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. Gideon from Ketu is saying, go ahead and marry. Leave your brother to keep wasting his time. What if your brother decides not to marry? What will happen? And that's coming from Gideon from Ketu. Another interesting point. Because truly, true, like some people say, what if he really decides not to get married? Then what happens? Just let's think about it. If he genuinely, maybe he's still saying, oh, next year, I'm still looking for love. I'm still looking for love. The following year, I'm still looking for love. Remember now, they're on the clock 36 at that point too. The following year, I'm still looking for love 37. I'm still looking for love 38. I'm still looking for love 39. By now, even the girlfriend where Jeremiah gets before the following marry another person born to begin at this time. So, what's it remain now? No, waiting we remain, waiting we gain. Waiting remain, waiting we gain. Because honestly speaking, the whole thing for don't turn upside down at that point. But what if he decides not to get married? I'm hoping that if he ever makes that decision, he can tell Jeremiah about it on time so that one can go ahead and marry. But why will your brother be holding you back when he knows you want to do something as good as getting married? Getting married, starting a life together with somebody you say that you love? What's the issue, Papa? What's the real thing? Honestly, I'm a bit bothered, and that's why we're having this conversation. Jeremiah is obviously bothered as well, and that's why we're having this conversation. What is it that you would suggest? What would you suggest tonight to Jeremiah on what to do concerning this situation? The number to call is 07000 917 917. Always remember that you can also send in a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Go ahead and call me 07000 917 917. 6 minutes to 8, and we're wrapping up in just a moment or in a little bit, just a couple of minutes now, and we'll be rounding off. I want to be able to take maybe about 2 more calls before I go, maybe about 2 more calls before we wrap up today. What do you think about this story? What is your suggestion to Jeremiah concerning the story tonight? Incoming message from Temi from Ibafu. Temi is saying, it seems like his bro is just being selfish with the way he's bringing up the vow talk when his twin wants to marry. Please pray well and get married. And this is coming from Temi from Ibafu. So Temi is saying, it looks like Jedediah is just being unnecessarily selfish. And he keeps bringing up the vow unnecessarily, particularly when he knows that you don't just want to play around anymore, you actually want to settle down. So Timmy is saying, just pray well. Please pray well before you settle down. And that's what that message says. Truthfully, prayer really might just be the only solution at this point, because it will be difficult to break his brother's heart that way. But it will be also difficult to act like what he wants doesn't mean anything. And this time it's not just him. He's in a relationship with someone, so that person's life is on hold as well for as long as Jedediah feels the need to stay single. So as much as grief is a terrible thing, as much as Jedediah might still be grieving the loss of his girlfriend of 3 years, I think it's safe to say at this point that he needs a lot of healing. He needs a lot of healing. He needs to be comforted. He needs to move on. But I'm hoping that this will not be to the detriment of Jeremiah. I'm hoping that this will not be a loss for Jeremiah if he has to stick by his brother for his brother to grieve and then get back into the dating game and, relationships and all of that. That will take a really long time. So at the end of the day, it won't be beneficial to anyone that way. So at this point, whatever your school of thought is, it's most important right now to understand that these people are twins. And the way they made the vow all those years ago, 2 of them can still break that vow. So the easiest thing to do might just be to talk to to talk to Jedediah about it and make him understand what's going on and the fact that love doesn't wait on anybody's timeline. So it might be hard, but life has to go on. At this point, I have to say thank you so much for tuning in to Adult Conversations today. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Thank you for sharing your ideas. Thank you for contributing. Thank you so much. I believe, based on all the advice that has been given tonight, Jeremiah will be able to take an informed decision. On behalf of Jeremiah, I also thank you again, and I hope that you'll join me tomorrow, same time, 6 to 8 p.m., same station, WFM 917, and of course, same program, Adult Conversations. Thank you very much to my engineers on duty. Thank you to you for tuning in once again. My name is Somto Titilayo Ajama. Good evening.
What is it you're trying to say? It's time to buckle up, because we're in the driver's seat.
Women Radio 91.7.
I wanna grow by your side all my days and all my nights, and I'll get rocking chairs for two. Let's start a future, me and you. I'll tell you all I have concealed. I'll show you all I want you to see. My intentions are crystal clear, sky blue. If you open my heart, you'll find just you. All my life I waited to feel like I do now, yeah. And I can't wait to have you, baby. This is day one forever. We made it through. Nobody will ever come this far. I know I can count on you. My baby, you'll be my best friend too.